All right, guys, island improvements here. One very hot fire that I don't need getting too much hotter. Trying to protect these oak trees. Wind is kind of swirling around, and right now it's staying right there for the time being, which I don't like it being around those leaves. But I don't want to keep building this up. I'm just going to let the fire die down and then add material later, so that way I don't build a big roaring flame. But the stump is dead center right there. I've also started the second one up, and so far so good. So if I can at least exterminate this area, I'm going to add, a pretty significant area to the island that's going to have greenery growing in it in the future. So this will give the deer, a few more bites to work with, which I am all fine and dandy for that. Anything I can do to maximize the space. You can see I had set this in a circle to burn all these leaves out. And I still got oak nuts raining down on me. See the wind shifting again. And I heard a lot of them fall once that breeze from the fire hit it. So I will wait a little bit longer here, probably another 15 minutes or so, and then reassess the situation, because I have plenty of burning material available because of that storm, the hurricane that rode through. There's all kinds of dead limbs that fell out of the trees, and served me very well for removing a lot of dead stuff in here that was just kind of overhanging. Even that tree right there probably lost about 5 or 6 feet of dead limb up there on the top. So anything I can do to help additional sunlight. But right now, nice roaring fire. I will push this stump onto this area here. That's kind of what I'm really waiting for, is just let this burn down, which is doing an excellent job so far. And then I'm going to keep this big stump on it as kind of a cap to hold heat and make it burn longer, and hopefully burn this thing out. The tree is technically still alive at this point and is stealing valuable nutrition out of here. So if this stump dies from this fire, that's going to be a pretty significant area, because I'm standing on one of the roots of the tree right now, that will not have nutrients being robbed. Man alive, that thing is really crashing some oak nuts out of there. And I've already got a massive carpet of nuts, and it's still continuing to pour it on. But I have extremely high activity in the island right now. Deer are practically in here just nearly every day. I'll just at least add this little guy. But I think from here on out now, the island will only continue to get better in new areas now. Once this is cleaned up, burned out, like I did with the burn pile that was over here, I'm gaining a lot of valuable ash that will darken the soil, add carbon, and these plants right here should grow a whole lot better, because this is one of my bad areas that's just not doing well. All right, guys. Short video. I'll chime in on the other half here once some of the burning dies down, or maybe the finished product. You see I've got material here, a lot of dead limbs laying in here. This one here is getting going. Not much to it right now. I will be adding more to this one here after the video. All right, guys, part 2 may be pretty soon here, so we'll see. Hang on. All right, guys, island improvements part 2. I have been grabbing some of these old cut pieces here because I really want to focus on removing this big stump, because I have a much larger area that I can fix in the island versus some of these, you're looking at like a 2-foot area, 2.5-foot area. Over here, I've got a 15-foot area because of all the root debris and stump material under here. I can't bring the tiller in here and clean this up. And now I'm getting to the point to where I can bring it in here because this stump is finally being reduced by a great amount. So far I've estimated I have removed 70% of this stump, and as you can see, the fire is still burning really hot. I have to be very careful today. The winds are supposed to pick up 10 to 15 and gust to 25. So I'm trying to hurry up and get this extra burn in just in case I feel like I need to come up here and put this fire out. There's also a 40 to 50% chance of thunderstorms tonight. So I do need another round of rain out here that will help the island out even more. Most likely I will come up here and throw seed out in this burn loop and probably reseed where I went walking through here and kind of stomp that down just as a precaution. And hopefully this, if I could remove another 20% before the winds pick up, I would be very happy with that. But at least now I can start to do some things back here on this part of the island. I'm going to increase the amount of tonnage in here just because of, a fairly decent size area here that is going to start seeing greenery that didn't happen before. Also, this other stump that I had lit, I had probably taken out 45 to 50% of that stump. It's just mainly a mound of ash you're looking at, but it's still too high up above the ground, so it'll get a second burn again. And depending on what happens with this wind, I may keep stacking an additional piece here as long as the wind doesn't pick up. The stump over there put itself out during the night. I would say it burned 25-30% additional stump out of that. And then eventually I'm going to focus on that area right there. That just looks like a trash heap when you're in here trying to make your island work. That's another 15-foot area, or give or take a little, of another area I can improve. There's about a 4 to 6 foot zone right there. Once that stump's out of the way, that'll help. So all these little pockets of no growth, no sowing, I'm basically adding a pretty decent chunk to the island as far as what it can produce. So I feel really confident here that things are going to be in the right direction as far as how I want this place to perform. And granted, I do understand I do have sunlight limits in here. It's going to stay that way until I get more permission to cut trees down. It's part of the improvement program. I do have some new permission, and I'm going to be poling that beech tree, really cutting the top out of that one back. And that's going to give me, a chance at a lot more light on the back end and this shaded pocket under here. So that would be, counting the stump and you count toward the road, that would be more than 20 feet of additional growing space, or at least getting better results out of the island. Eventually, one of these two trees right here has a chance to snap in a storm. That's kind of what I'm banking on, because I don't have permission as of right now to cut them down. And because that really hot fire, 50% of that tree right there is just dead. I'm hoping it can rot out enough and at least force that tree to snap in a storm, and then I can cut it down and add another 6 feet right there. All right, guys, I probably will show you the very end result, but at least this stump is cooking. Nice hot flame. Don't want to get my phone any closer. But you can see the glow and the flame coming out of that stump in there. Looks really good. So hopefully this will take care of itself today, and maybe the winds won't get as bad as what they say, because right now they're dead calm. All right, guys, island improvements are definitely underway, and it's based on what I'm seeing right now. Huge payoff, complete opposite of last year. We have a much better establishment of growth. And now I'm waiting for the leaves to fall off. Hang tight, guys. More to come on the island. You all have a great day.